The golden gates of Montecito are reportedly rattling tonight as a devastating new tranche of documents, colloquially known as the Epstein Files, has allegedly surfaced, sending Meghan Markle into what insiders describe as a total tailspin. For years, the Duchess of Sussex has carefully curated an image of a humanitarian activist, a champion of women, and a moral compass separate from the archaic British monarchy. However, the release of high-definition imagery and flight manifests, purportedly showing a proximity between her and the disgraced Prince Andrew within the shadowy orbit of Jeffrey Epstein, threatens to dismantle her multi-million-dollar brand. The narrative of the innocent outsider is crumbling, replaced by a darker query: how much did Meghan really know, and was her royal entry part of a much larger, more calculated play? The unholy alliance, Andrew, Epstein, and the Markle connection. The core of this controversy lies in the recently unsealed federal records from the U.S. Department of Justice. While Prince Andrew's ties to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell have been public knowledge for years, these new, unredacted snapshots are reportedly far more damaging. Critics argue that Meghan Markle's presence in certain social circles during her pre-royal years in London and Toronto overlaps suspiciously with the very same high society facilitators who serviced Epstein's network. As the title suggests, the panic is not merely about a photograph, but about the shattering of a carefully constructed facade. Markle has built her career on the claim that she knew nothing about the royal family before meeting Harry. Yet, the emergence of evidence suggesting she may have crossed paths with Andrew's inner circle, the very circle that included Epstein and Maxwell, paints her as the ultimate controversial figure. If she was a player in these circles, her ignorance isn't just a lapse in memory, it's a strategic deception. A pattern of controversy, the Duchess of Distraction, Meghan Markle has long been criticized for her timing. It is a well-documented observation among royal commentators that whenever Prince Andrew faces a fresh wave of Epstein-related scrutiny, a Meghan scandal, or a high-profile Sussex PR blitz suddenly dominates the headlines. For example, the bullying inquiry. In 2021, when Andrew was mired in the Virginia Giuffre lawsuit, news of Meghan's alleged bullying of palace staff was leaked. The Spare Revelations, Harry's memoir, often pivoted the public's rage toward the institution, conveniently shielding the Duke of York from being the sole focus of royal vitriol. This pattern suggests that Markle is not just a victim of circumstance but a pawn, or perhaps a queen, in a game of high-stakes reputational chess. By remaining the controversial one, she serves as a human shield for the monarchy's darker secrets. But now, with photos allegedly linking her directly to the Andrew Epstein axis, the shield has shattered. She can no longer hide behind the woke activism she so frequently weaponizes. The doomed brand: can archetypes survive the Epstein stain? The critique of Meghan Markle has always centered on her perceived insincerity. To her critics, she is a woman who lectures the world on equity, while living in a mansion funded by the very institution she calls racist. This latest exposure takes the critique from hypocrisy to moral bankruptcy. If the photos indeed verify a social link between the Duchess and the most prolific sex trafficking ring in modern history, her archetypes and humanitarian ventures are essentially dead in the water. The irony is palpable, says one royal analyst. Meghan claims to empower women, yet the latest files suggest she may have been rubbing shoulders with the very men who exploited them. She is controversial because her actions never match her scripts. The ultimate fall from grace. For a woman who sought to redefine royalty, Meghan Markle now finds herself defined by the very scandal that brought down Prince Andrew. The panic reported in her camp isn't just about legal ramifications, it's about the irreversible loss of her moral high ground. She portrayed herself as the breath of fresh air the monarchy needed, but these files suggest she may have been part of the same stale, corrupted air that has plagued the House of Windsor for decades. The controversy surrounding her has shifted. It is no longer about the color of her skin or the fit of her dress. It is now about her authenticity. If she was indeed present in these circles, her entire narrative, from the blind date with Harry to her horror at Andrew's BBC interview, is exposed as a masterful performance. The Epstein Files have opened a Pandora's box that Meghan Markle cannot simply PR her way out of. As the world sifts through the millions of pages of documents, the spotlight remains fixed on the Duchess.